Imagine this. You wake up, your stomach is empty, and you haven't eaten for 14 hours. The common wisdom tells you that you're running on empty. It says you need a pre-workout snack or you'll crash. But you head out for a run or hit the gym anyway. Suddenly, instead of collapsing, you feel a strange surge of energy. Your mind clears and your body feels lighter. You've just tapped into an ancient metabolic survival mechanism that modern life has almost made us forget. This is the science of fasted exercise. It's not just about burning calories, it's about reprogramming your biology. And today, we're going to look at exactly what happens inside you when you move without fuel. When we talk about fasted exercise, we're usually referring to working out after a period of 12 to 16 hours without food, typically in the morning. To understand why this works, we have to debunk the fuel myth. Many people believe that the food they eat 30 minutes before a workout is what powers their muscles. But biologically, digestion is a slow process. That banana or protein bar is still being broken down in your stomach, while you're already halfway through your workout. Real energy doesn't come from your last snack. It comes from your internal reserves, glycogen stored in your liver and muscles, and the thousands of calories locked away in your body fat. Fasted exercise is the practice of teaching your body how to access those reserves efficiently. In the first few days of exercising while fasted, your body is going through a transition. Think of it as a metabolic shock. Because you've likely spent years fueling up before movement, your body is used to high levels of insulin. When you start that first fasted workout, your insulin is at its baseline, very low. This low insulin state is the green light for your body to release fatty acids. However, because your system isn't yet efficient at burning fat, you might feel a bit sluggish or experience a slight brain fog. Your liver is working overtime to deplete its remaining glycogen stores, about 100 grams of energy reserved for emergencies. Studies in the Journal of Physiology suggest that during these first few sessions, your body is forced to start upgrading its fat-burning enzymes. You aren't just losing weight, you are forcing your cells to adapt to a new reality, one where food isn't always guaranteed. By the end of the first week, the struggle usually begins to fade. This is where your hormones take center stage. One of the most significant changes is the spike in growth hormone, GH. Research, including studies published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation, shows that the combination of fasting and exercise can increase growth hormone production by several times its normal rate. Why does this happen? Biologically, it's a preservation tactic. Your body produces GH to protect your muscle mass and bone density while it focuses on burning fat for fuel. At the same time, your insulin sensitivity is improving rapidly. Your cells are becoming hungry for nutrients, meaning that when you finally do eat after your workout, your body partitions those calories toward muscle repair rather than fat storage. You are becoming metabolically flexible, the ability to switch between burning sugar and burning fat with ease. As you move into the first month, your performance usually stabilizes. This is the phase of fat adaptation. A meta-analysis in the British Journal of Nutrition found that exercising in a fasted state can increase fat oxidation by 20 to 30% during the workout session compared to exercising after a meal. But the most surprising changes are happening in your head. When your blood sugar is low and your liver is producing ketones from fat, your brain receives a different kind of fuel. Ketones are often more efficient than glucose for mental tasks. Furthermore, the stress of fasted movement triggers the release of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as a support system for your neurons. It helps repair brain cells and supports cognitive health. While it won't magically make you a genius overnight, it does explain why many people report intense mental clarity and flow states during their fasted morning workouts. You're not just training your legs, you're sharpening your mind. After 3 months of consistent fasted exercise, your body has reached a state of biological resilience. On a cellular level, your mitochondria, the powerhouses that create energy, have become more numerous and much more efficient. This process, known as mitochondrial biogenesis, means you can produce more energy with less metabolic waste. Long-term studies on intermittent fasting and exercise, such as those highlighted by Mark Mattson in the New England Journal of Medicine, point to a reduction in chronic inflammation markers like CRP and IL-6. You are also activating the AMPK pathway, often called the body's master metabolic switch, which promotes autophagy. Autophagy is your body's internal recycling program, where it identifies and breaks down damaged proteins and cellular debris. At this stage, your body has learned how to maintain high energy levels all day long, regardless of when your last meal was. Let's summarize the proven benefits. First, improved insulin sensitivity. This is perhaps the most important marker for long-term health, reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Second, growth hormone spikes. This helps with tissue repair and keeping your metabolism young. Third, digestive efficiency. By not exercising with food in your stomach, your body can direct 100% of its blood flow to your working muscles and brain, rather than splitting it with the digestive tract. And fourth, metabolic flexibility. You are no longer a sugar burner who crashes if they miss a meal. You are a dual fuel engine, capable of running on your own stored energy for hours. However, we must be balanced. Fasted exercise is a tool, not a magic pill. And like any tool, it can be misused. One of the most important things to note is that high-intensity performance, like sprinting or heavy powerlifting, may suffer in a fasted state. Studies show a potential 10 to 15% drop in peak power when glucose isn't readily available. If your goal is an Olympic gold medal or a personal record in the squat rack, you might actually perform better with some carbohydrates in your system. There are also specific groups who should be cautious. If you are pregnant, breastfeeding, or have a history of eating disorders, the added stress of fasting and exercise may be counterproductive. For some women, excessive fasted exercise can raise cortisol levels to the point where it interferes with reproductive hormones. And for those with type 1 diabetes, fasted exercise can cause unpredictable blood sugar swings. Always listen to your body. Dizziness, cold sweats, or extreme nausea are signs that you should stop and refuel. Results can vary significantly between individuals, so it is always wise to consult with a healthcare professional before making major changes. Why does our body respond this way? Because for most of human history, exercise was fasting. Our ancestors didn't wake up to a bowl of cereal and then go hunt a mammoth. They had to hunt the mammoth to get the cereal, or rather, the meat. Biologically, we are designed to be at our most alert, most focused, and most physically capable when we are in a hungry state. This is when our survival depends on our performance. In the modern world, we've pathologized hunger, viewing it as a sign of weakness. But the science shows that occasional controlled movement in a fasted state reconnects us with a version of our biology that is resilient, efficient, and strong. If you're ready to try this, don't dive into a 10-mile run on day one. Start with low-intensity steady-state exercise, or LS. A 30-minute brisk walk or a light cycle in the morning is the perfect way to on-ramp your system. This stays within Zone 2, where fat oxidation is at its peak. Hydration is critical. Fasting naturally lowers insulin, which causes your kidneys to release more sodium. Make sure you drink plenty of water with a pinch of salt or a sugar-free electrolyte mix. When you finish your workout, wait about 30 to 60 minutes. Then break your fast with a meal rich in protein to kickstart muscle recovery. This creates a powerful pulsing effect, stressing the body during the workout and providing deep nourishment during the recovery. Fasted exercise isn't about punishing yourself. It's about biological maintenance. It's a way to clear out the metabolic cobwebs that accumulate when we eat constantly. By moving while fasted, you are telling your body that it doesn't need to be afraid of an empty stomach. You are proving that you have the energy, the focus, and the strength already stored inside you. You aren't just burning fat. You are building a more resilient version of yourself. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit the like button. It helps this science reach more people. Comment below. Do you prefer working out on an empty stomach? Or do you need that morning coffee and toast to get moving? And subscribe for more deep dives into the science of your body. If you want to understand what happens if you take fasting even further, check out our previous video. What happens to your body when you fast for 24 hours? Together, these habits can completely transform your metabolic health. Would you commit to a 20-minute fasted walk tomorrow if you knew it would sharpen your brain and optimize your hormones? Tell me in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.